Something I've been really curious about lately is how good are the chatbot AIs at poker? Are they better than me? To help figure that out, I've set up a little arena here for the three different best chatbots at the moment to do battle against each other in poker. And so they're not going to have any advantages that a human wouldn't have. They're going to have to look at the board with their AI eyes, and they're going to have to press the call and fold buttons with their computer fingers. And so I'm going to press go here, and we'll watch them duke it out amongst each other. And then at the end, I'll give a little review of how good I think these chatbots are at poker and which one I think is the best.
I have Queen of Clubs and Two of Hearts, which is a very weak starting hand, and I'm facing a bet of 40 from an opponent with only 20 left in my stack. Fold.
The odds are not in your favor, sir. I'd advise folding. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I've just hit my Balmer peak.
I have pocket kings pre-flop in the button position, facing only the blinds. Raising is the optimal play to build the pot with a premium hand and take advantage of position. I will raise to 120. Raise 120.
I hold 2 heart 4 heart out of position, facing a 120 raise into a 180 pot with no real equity. Fold.
I heard Bill Huang has cornered the prison market for Lunchables. Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
The evidence was all there on the board and in your reactions. One merely needed to connect the dots.
I have an offsuit 10-7 on the button, facing the blinds with no raises, making it too weak to invest further. Fold.
Based on the cards showing 9 of spades and Queen of diamonds, this hand has limited potential with no pairs, no straight potential, and no flush potential, so it's best to fold rather than invest in this mediocre holding. Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
The unwrapping of your hand was a touch anticlimactic, as its weakness was long since apparent.
I have weak cards with just a 3 of hearts and 8 of spades. My opponent has bet 40 into a pot of 60, and I don't have a strong drawing hand that justifies continuing. Fold.
I'm just gathering information and chips. Mostly chips. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Don't worry, you'll bounce back. Happens to first-time founders too.
Folding a weak 95-0 hand when facing a bet and a caller before the flop is the standard game theory optimal move from the bottom position. Fold.
Eyes are legacy tech. Raise 100.
I have a weak 6 of spades and 4 of hearts with a 60 bet facing me. I'm out of position with poor cards that have little potential, and the pot odds don't justify continuing. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Too bad my brain doesn't have an API. I have a green Q and a black 5 offsuit, which is too weak to call 40 into a 60 pot pre-flop. Fold.
Is there an OCaml function for folding under pressure? Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
Your neural nets passed data, but failed to decrypt the hieroglyphics of a drunkenly scribbled bluff.
Looking at my hand, K, pique, 2 carreaux, I have a weak king with no draw potential, and I'm facing a 40 chip bet with only 1380 chips behind, making this a poor spot to continue against an opponent with position. Fold.
My hand is very weak, 39-0, and does not warrant calling the bet or raising pre-flop. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
In a post-scarcity economy, this loss won't matter.
My hand is very weak, 26-0, and I am facing a bet pre-flop. Folding is the optimal play with such a hand in this situation. Fold.
I raise to 80 to pressure the big blind with my connected 7 heart 8 spade suit instead of just calling 20. Raise 80.
I have a very weak hand with just a 3 of spades and 9 of hearts, facing a bet of 40 with nothing promising on the board, so folding is the correct play to conserve chips. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
These nootropics are really working. I have 8 diamond suit, blue, and 2 club suit, green, the worst offsuit starting hand, so I should fold. Fold.
Given I have 8 pique 3 cœur carte, which is a weak starting hand in position, and I'm facing a bet of 20 in a pot of 40, with no visible community cards yet, the correct play is to fold as these cards have very poor equity against any reasonable betting range. Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
You mistook my tells for tells. They were in fact decorative flourishes in the margins of strategy.
Given I have 10 of spades and 8 of hearts, facing a bet of 40 with a pot of 60, and being out of position with no community cards visible yet, this is a marginal hand that should usually be folded pre-flop from early position. Fold.
Facing a bet of 20 with a suited ace and connected card in a loose game structure, calling is the standard play to see the flop in position. Call 20.
Who's your blood guy?
As the small blind with ace-6 suited, and the option to complete to the big blind or raise, raising pre-flop with this speculative hand is generally preferred in game theory to put pressure on the big blind and build the pot when I have position post-flop. Therefore, I will make a minimum raise. Raise 40.
I have 7s full of ace kicker on the Q spade suit, 7 diamond suit, 7 spade suit board, and should value bet to charge any QX hands. Raise 80.
Raising ace-6s from the big blind against a button limp is a standard aggressive play to take control of the hand or win the pot immediately. Raise 120.
I heard Adam Newman runs a big game in Chicago. Raise 160.
Facing a bet of 160 with ace-6 suited, calling the 160 bet is likely the best GTO play given the pot odds and potential to outdraw. Call 160. I have a flush draw and an ace kicker on a paired board. Checking is the optimal move as I am not facing a bet and can see a free river card. Check.
I have trip 7s with top kicker and can extract value from worse hands, so I raise to 200. Raise 200.
I have 2 pair with an ace kicker on a board with flush and trips potential, and I am facing a bet that offers sufficient pot odds to continue. I have 2 pair, kings and 7s with an ace kicker and I am not facing a bet. Therefore, checking is the appropriate defensive move to see a showdown. Check.
I should lead out for value to protect my 7s full of kings and extract from weaker hands. Raise 800.
Facing a bet with kings and 7s with an ace kicker, the hand has good equity against likely holdings, especially considering one opponent is all in. Call.
The winner is GPT-4.
This table is a funding round. I always take a big cut.
Pray tell, why the hesitation? Are you contemplating a masterful bluff, or simply realizing the folly of your previous play? Fold.
I have Palantir analyzing your tells. Raise 120.
Looking at my hand of 9 cœurs carte 4 carreaux, which is a very weak starting hand with no connectivity, against a betting pattern where there's already 160 in the pot and a bet of courant showing, I should fold this weak hand as it has very little potential to win against likely stronger holdings. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
This might be my last round. Need to get back to Napa for a tasting. I hold J6 offsuit in early position, which is too weak to continue against the blinds. Fold.
Given that I have 9 pique 4 pique, 9 and 4 of spades, which is a weak hand, and I'm facing a bet of 20 from an opponent with no community cards showing yet, the correct move is to fold, as this hand has very poor equity against most ranges. Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
The game was afoot, and my feet landed squarely in the winner's circle.
I have the 10 of spades and 4 of spades, which is a weak hand facing a bet of quarante into a pot of 60, making pot odds unfavorable for chasing a flush draw with no pair. Fold.
With an ace and a 3 offsuit against a big blind and a limper, folding to the 40 bet is the most prudent move pre-flop. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'm building my personal brand around unpredictability.
The scent of jasmine on your coat. Curious. Someone visited 221B earlier wearing the same perfume. Raise 120.
I have a club suit Q heart in the small blind facing a 120 raise and should 3-bet for value and fold equity. Raise 200.
Looking at my holding of dix of clubs and trois of diamonds with a pot of 360 and facing what appears to be a 160 bet, this is a weak hand with limited potential that likely has very low equity against my opponent's ranges. Fold.
I have a strong drawing hand with K diamond suit J diamond suit, and I'm facing a bet of 80 to call. Calling keeps multiple opponents in the hand and allows for potential flush or top pair draws. Call 80.
I'm firing a C-bet with my A club suit Q heart 2 overcards and backdoor red heart potential on this dry red heart heart blue diamond suit flop to fold out weaker holdings. Raise 40.
With King Jack suited diamonds and facing a single bet from the small blind who only has 120 chips remaining, I should raise to put pressure and potentially win the pot immediately, or stack the short-stacked opponent. Raise 120.
Maybe Yudkowsky was right. Call. Nick Denton got out libertarian, had to leave the country and everything. Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
Your valiant effort was noted and ultimately overcome.
We're a post-meme fund. Raise 120.
Given my weak hand of 2 trèfle carte J pique and the opponent's betting of 120, I have very few outs to improve and am dominated by most hands that would bet this amount. Fold.
Holding 97 offsuit in the big blind and facing a raise from the button, this hand is too weak to continue. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
That hand was about alignment with myself and with the deck.
My preferred stakes are 2 and 20. Fold.
Holding 2D 5D in UTG position facing a bet is a very weak hand that should not be played. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Your burn rate is concerning.
With a small pair in the button position facing only the blinds, I should make a standard raise to build the pot and isolate the blinds. Raise 120.
You need to rethink your strategy from first principles. Fold.
Looking at the image, I have 8 cœur carte, J cœur carte suited, hearts, which has moderate potential for a flush or straight. But currently, I have no pair, and the pot already has significant bets, total 180s with 20, 40 and 120 visible in yellow circles. Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
The facts, as I predicted, led directly to this rather satisfactory conclusion.
I raise to 120 with 9 diamond suit, 8 club suit on the button to leverage position and apply pressure on the blinds. Raise 120.
Looking at my jack of spades and 8 of spades, I have a medium strength hand with flush potential, but I'm facing a send bet with only 1140 chips remaining and multiple active players already in the pot with positions 40 and 120 committed. Fold.
My hand 8 red heart 3 club suit is too weak to continue facing a bet of 120. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Your stack just got diluted.
I have 8 of diamonds and ace of spades, which is a weak holding with no current board, facing a quarante from the player showing current in the yellow circle with a pot of 60. Fold.
With K club suit, J club suit as the button facing a small bet in a heads-up pot against the small blind. This hand has strong raising potential. Raise 60.
I'm gonna growth hack this pot. Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
Your hesitation was a symphony of uncertainty. I merely conducted the final note. Holding J diamond suit 6 heart out of position against the big blind's call of my apparent raise, this hand has very little equity. Folding is the only profitable option.
I hold a weak offsuit, green king and red, 7 in the small blind, facing only the big blind, so I should fold. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
Monte Carlo simulation avant la lettre. Your luck ran out 3 sigmas ago.
I hold 3 spade suit, 8 diamond suit offsuit, which is unplayable against the blind, so I fold. Fold.
Holding C-pick J cœur carte is a very weak hand, with no draws or potential against likely stronger holdings from the player who bet 20, making fold the clear mathematical choice here. Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
Had you been paying closer attention, the signs of your impending loss were quite evident.
I have ace of spades and 4 of hearts with a pot of 60 and facing a bet of 40, which is a weak hand, but the ace is strong, and I'm in position with only one opponent who might be bluffing. Call 40.
I am in the small blind with K spade suit, 5 spade suit, and facing a bet of 20 to call to complete the big blind amount after 2 opponents called the big blind. K spade suit, 5 spade suit, is not a strong enough hand to call or raise multiway from the small blind. Fold.
I hold 7 spade suit and 8 heart in a multi-way limped pot with no raise, so I check to see the flop cheaply. I have a vulnerable middle pair with no draw, so I check to control the pot. Check.
I have a pair of 4s with 2 clubs on the board, but opponent has checked, so I have position, and could potentially bet for value against weaker hands, or to take the pot now. Check.
I should bet 40 to charge drawing hands and get value from worse holdings. BET 40.
Looking at my pair of 4S, clubs and spades, against the community cards showing 7 cœur carte, Q trèfle carte, and with an opponent showing 3 of a kind, A pique 4 cœur carte, I should fold as my hand is significantly weaker. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'd celebrate, but I'm dopamine fasting.
My hand, J spade suit 3 club suit, is very weak and does not warrant calling a bet or raise, especially with opponents who have already put chips into the pot. Fold.
I hold a heart, 4 spade suit in the small blind with no raisers and poor post-flop prospects out of position. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
Let me guess, you are a value investor?
I have pocket eights on the button in position with only the big blind to act, so I raise to 80. Raise 80.
I have Queen of Hearts and 6 of Clubs, facing a bet of 60 with a pot of Cent 40, and I don't have a strong hand against multiple opponents, including one with a high stack. Fold.
Facing a raise to 80 in the big blind with a speculative suited connector, 8s9s against one opponent, calling to see a flop is a reasonable play given the pot odds and potential. Call 40. Holding 89 suited pre-flop and not facing a bet allows me to see the flop cheaply. Check.
I hold pocket blue 8 and red 8 on a dry black, king black 6 red 3 flop with no action. So I check to control the pot. Check.
I have a king high flush, 6 spade suit, K spade suit, 8 spade suit, 9 spade suit, Q club suit, on the turn against an opponent who appears to misread their hand as only high card, so I should bet to extract value. BET 40.
I have middle hair 8s on a dry, K spade suit, Q, club suit, 6 spade suit 3 heart board, and the turn bet is small enough to justify calling for value. Call 40.
With the action checked to me and holding a pair of 8s, which is likely the best hand against a checked range on this river, betting for value is the optimal play. BET 40.
I hold a set of 8s, and the small bet signals weakness, so I extract value by raising. Raise 200.
I have a pair of 8s and a strong kicker, but facing bets from multiple players on the river without improving significantly makes folding the prudent move. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I think you might be aligning on the wrong KPIs.
The markets are interesting, but I prefer managing my cave à 20 these days. Reste to 120.
I know who DB Cooper is. Call.
I have 9 diamond suit, blue, and 6 club suit, green, offsuit in a 3-way pot, facing a 120 preflop raise, and it's too weak to continue. Fold.
With a pair of 10s and facing no bet, betting builds the pot and takes control of the action. BET 40.
Looking at my pair of aces and the board showing J carreau, 3 carreau, D trèfle carte, I have the best possible hand right now, but 2 diamonds on the board means someone could be drawing to a flush, so I should raise to protect my hand and build the pot. Raise 120.
On a board of Jack high with a pair of 10s and a king kicker, my top pair hand is strong against a single opponent's bet, allowing me to play for value or protection. Call 80. Every card dealt is fate's subtle whisper. Our choices, however, speak loudly. Check.
Looking at the board showing J carreau, 3 carreau, D trèfle carte, 4 pique with our pocket pair of A pique, A cœur carte, we have another pair to the board, but need to be cautious of potential diamond flushes or straight draws given 2 diamonds are showing. Check.
Poker is the only game where losing money still seems to earn you friends. Raise 140.
Looking at the situation, I have a pair of aces, which is the strongest starting hand, and the community cards, J carreau, 3 carreaux, 10 trèfle carte, 4 piques, 7 piques, don't show any obvious straight or flush threats, making my pair of aces likely the best hand right now. Raise to 300.
Facing a significant bet on the river with only a pair of tens, folding is the best option, as I am unlikely to have the best hand. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
You probably think sharp is a good metric too.
I am the big blind holding king of spades, 5 of spades and facing a bet of 20, which I should call to complete my big blind amount against a single opponent who just completed the bet rather than raising. Call 40.
If I win, can I pitch you something?
I have a jack of clubs and king of hearts, which is a decent starting hand, but with 3 players in the hand, and it being my turn to act, I should check to see what develops on the flop. Check.
I hold 6 green and 2 black on a 5 red, 8 blue, 7 red flop with only 8 outs, and no flush draw, so I check to control the pot. Check.
I have J trèfle carte, K cœur carte facing no bets, with 5 cœur carte, 8 carreaux, 7 cœur carte on the flop, giving me a king high with backdoor flush and straight draws. Check.
With 2 opponents having checked on a wet board with my vulnerable pair, checking allows me to see the turn safely. Check.
Want to hear about my nootropic stack? Check.
The sommelier sighed when he saw my bottle. That's what I'm paying for. Check.
Given that both opponents checked on the turn, indicating potential weakness, I should check my weak pair of 5s to see the river card for free. Check.
I have no showdown value with the green 6 and black 2 on this paired board, so I will check. Check.
My preferred stakes are 2 and 20. Check.
I am not guessing, you understand. I am applying rigorous logic to the available data. Check.
The winner is Claude.
You should see the way I played Société Générale in 2009.
I hold a black 4 and a green 8, a weak offsuit combination, so I should fold rather than call 40 into a 60 chip pot. Fold.
You're this indecisive with cards? I finally understand your book. Fold.
The winner is Gemini.
The table is much like an apiary. Those who move with care are rarely stung.
I have a trèfle carte de pique, which is a very weak hand, facing a bet of 40 into a pot of 60, and my opponent's position suggests they likely have a stronger range. Fold.
Holding K diamond suit, J diamond suit in the big blind facing a bet of 40. This is a strong hand against a single bet, so I will raise to build the pot and isolate the opponent. Raise 120.
I'm using CRISPR to improve my poker face.
Since the action has folded around to me in the small blind and the big blind has not raised, I can see the flop for free. Check.
I have only a 1-card gut shot and weak backdoor draw on 8 club suit, 10 club suit, K spade suit, so I'll pot control with a check. Check.
Facing a small bet on the turn with top pair, calling is the appropriate action to see the river. Call.
No, when I joined it wasn't a cult yet. Call.
The winner is GPT-4.
Did you say you invested in Quibi? Do you need a theremin player? Raise 80.
If you want to hedge your bet, just let me know. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Sometimes losing is just the ego surrendering to the now.
Given I have set trèfle carte 9 carreau, a relatively weak hand, and I'm facing a bet of 20 in a 20-40ème game with only 60 in the pot, this is a clear fold situation as my hand has very little potential and poor equity against most ranges. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Do you need to go back to the WeWork now? I raise here to seize the initiative and leverage my suited K diamond suit, 5 diamond suit heads up in the blinds. Raise 80.
I have 12 of spades and 9 of diamonds, which is a weak hand, facing a 40 chip bet, with no community cards visible yet, so I should fold rather than invest more chips in this marginal starting hand. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I could see your aura ring alert.
Just fold, before Easy reallocates your stack. Call.
I hold pocket aces heads up and can isolate my opponent by raising to build the pot. Raise 80.
With pocket fours, I have a medium strength starting hand but facing a bet of 40 in a pot of 120, with only one opponent showing. It's a marginal call situation without knowing what's coming on the flop. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I don't need Stripe to IPO anymore. I have 8 club suit, 9 diamond suit in the small blind heads up with sufficient implied odds and flop playability. Call 20.
Ray Dalio is the richest newsletter writer. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
We're not declaring these, right?
Looking at my hand, of 2 of diamonds and 5 of spades, a very weak holding, with an opponent already betting 20 chips into a pot of 60, I have no drawing potential or showdown value against what could be any reasonable betting range. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Good idea, but you're executing like a legacy incumbent. I have 10 spade suit, 7 club suit, which is a marginal offsuit hand in the small blind, so I'll call to see the flop.
I have 6 of clubs and ace of spades offsuit, with no community cards visible yet, and it appears to be my turn to act first, with no bets made. So checking would allow me to see the flop without risking chips. Check. I have a weak hand with 6 of clubs and ace of spades against a flop of queen of hearts, 12 of clubs and dix of hearts, giving me only ace high with no draws. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
That pot, consider it my seed round. I'm scaling from here.
I don't tilt, I rebalance. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I admire how thesis-driven that loss was. I'm on the button heads up with 10 club suit 8 heart and should open raise to seize the initiative and steal the blinds. Raise 120.
I have a weak hand with 3 and 4 of hearts, and despite the board not being visible yet, starting with these low cards gives me poor equity against most ranges. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'm not doing this for the money. I'm taking your chips to benefit humanity.
Given that I have 7 carreau 5 pique, which is a weak hand, and facing a bet of 20 when the pot is only at 0, I should fold as the potential return doesn't justify continuing with this mediocre holding. Fold.
I have position with J club suit 9 diamond suit in heads up and can seize the initiative by min raising to twice the big blind, raise 80.
Profit equals revenue minus loss. See, I have an MBA too. Fold. Based on my hand of Queen of Clubs and Jack of Diamonds QJ offsuit, which is a medium strength starting hand, but not facing any bet yet, as it appears to be my turn to act first with 0 in the pot currently. Fold.
I'm in the small blind, dealt 3 spade suit, 6 spade suit against a 40 chip big blind with no action, making it a weak hand not worth a call. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
I expect you will get a call from the risk department soon. With that hand range, the Bellman equation collapses to its trivial solution. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'm in a flow state now. I fold because Q diamond suit, 4 heart offsuit, has too little equity and playability, even heads up against the blinds. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
Did you learn that strategy from a Value Investors Club post? Looking at my hand with King of Hearts and Sept of Diamonds against a bet of 20, this is a weak holding that doesn't connect well with potential board cards and has limited showdown value. Fold.
Yeah, he's part of the Husiero Mafia. Raise 80.
Credit Suisse taught me one thing. Liquidity est essentielle. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'm hungry. Let's get DoorDash. Did I mention Tony and I are co-investing in a deal?
With King of Clubs and Dix of Spades, I have a decent hand, but facing a bet of 20 in a heads-up situation, when the pot is only 60, I should fold, since my hand is marginal, and I don't have pot odds to chase draws. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
You might need to pivot to a new strategy. Do you want a cold plunge with me? Fold.
The winner is Claude.
Impressed? You should see me price a volatility surface. With a Dix of Diamonds and a 2 of Spades, I have a very weak hand that has little potential against the current 20 chip bet facing me. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
That's why they pay me to deploy capital. I hold K club suit, J club suit in the small blind heads up. It's strong enough for a standard opening raise. Raise 60.
Holding a King of Hearts and 6 of Diamonds, with Claude showing a bet of 40, my hand is relatively weak and doesn't have much potential for improvement. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
You brought a lifestyle hand to a unicorn table.
Looking at my 6 of Diamonds and Dix of Spades, I'm facing a bet of 20 with a weak hand and poor potential for improvement, so folding is the most prudent option to preserve my stack. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Guess I'm a 10x poker player. My 9 diamond suit 2 club suit has virtually no equity or playability preflop, so I should fold. Fold.
Looking at my Jack of Diamonds and 9 of Spades with no community cards visible yet, this is a weak starting hand that doesn't have great potential against an existing 20 bet. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Great hand. Want to invest in my SPAC? I'm updating my priors. Raise 120.
Looking at my hand of 3 cœur carte, 7 cœur carte, I have a suited hand but weak cards with limited potential against an opponent who has already bet 40, making it unlikely to be profitable to continue in this hand. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
You're betting like Tiger Global.
Given the weak hand of 9 of hearts and 5 of spades, facing a 20 bet with no community cards yet visible, this is a clear fold situation as these cards have very little potential. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I growth hacked this pot. I have 5 diamond suit, 4 spade suit unsuited in the small blind out of position with minimal equity and no strong prospects, so I should fold. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
Your bluffs carry more negative convexity than a Greek bond. Looking at the situation, I have Capique 8 trèfle carte, which is a marginal hand, and there's already a bet of 20 from another player with 40 in the pot total, making it not worth calling without better cards or position. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I used CRISPR to improve my poker face. Watch out, I'm going founder mode. Call.
Based on the visible cards, Jack of diamonds and 9 of clubs, I have a mediocre hand with no pairs, straights, or flush potential so far, making it weak in a heads-up situation with the pot currently at 0. Check. Based on the board showing 9 cœur carte, 4 trèfle carte, 3 trèfle carte, my J carreau 9 trèfle carte gives me a pair of 9s with a jack kicker, but I'm vulnerable to flush draws and better pairs. Check.
I have just 8 spade suit, 2 spade suit, with no pair or meaningful draw on a 9 heart, 4 club suit, 3 club suit flop, so I check. Check.
Looking at the board with a 9 cœur carte, 4 trèfle carte, 3 trèfle carte, 10 pique, and my hand showing J carreau, 9 trèfle carte for a pair of 9 cess. There's a pot of 80 chips, but I should be cautious as another player could have a straight, flush, or better pair. Check.
We're entering a post-product world. It's all about distribution arbitrage. Check.
Berkshire is actually a shart at these valuations. Check.
I have only a weak pair of 2s with no draw potential and should pot control. Check.
The winner is Claude.
Save that kind of play for CalPers. My stack is too big to fail. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Welcome to my recap table. Yeah, she was actually my yoga instructor. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
Don't worry, that was already priced in. I have 5 carreaux, 3 trèfle carte, which is a very weak starting hand, and I'm facing a bet of 20, with no community cards yet visible. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
You're betting like a future unicorn. Just missing the fundamentals. I'll seize the initiative with my suited connector in this heads-up pot. Raise 80.
Looking at my hand of 9 of clubs and 2 of spades, a very weak holding, with someone betting 40 into a pot of 120, I should fold, since this hand has minimal showdown value and poor equity against any reasonable betting range. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I went founder mode on that hand.
Your bets are orthogonal to my payoff space. Go find another pot. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I actually learned that strategy at Burning Man. I can raise with Q diamond suit, J spade suit on the button to seize initiative and pressure the blinds. Raise 80.
To be fair, Martin Shkreli did make money for his investors. Call 40. Looking at the board with 9 cœur carte, 6 piques, 7 trèfle carte and holding. A trèfle carte 10 carreau for a high card, there are straight draws and better hands, likely out there with the pot at 160, and it being my turn with no prior bet to call. Check.
I have 8 outs to an open-ended straight on this red 9 heart, black 6 spade suit, green 7 club suit flop, with Q diamond suit, J spade suit for strong equity, so I bet the minimum. Raise 40.
Looking at my position with A trèfle carte 10 carreau, high card, against a board of 9 cœur carte, 6 piques 7 trèfle carte, I'm facing a 40 chip bet with a draw to a straight but no current made hand, making calling marginally profitable with decent implied odds. Call 40. Dinner at Alain Ducasse again? Ah, but simplicity is always best. Check.
I have only queen high with no draw on a checked board, so I pot control by checking behind. Check.
Looking at the board showing 9 cœur carte, 6 piques, 7 trèfle carte, A carreau 10 cœur carte, with our whole cards being 10 carreau. A trèfle carte giving us 2 pair, aces and tens. We have a strong hand that likely beats most holdings except for straights, or a better 2 pair, like a dix with higher kicker. Check.
I fire a small 40 chip bluff on the checked river to leverage fold equity against my opponent's missed draws. Raise 40.
Given the community cards, 9 cœur carte, 6 piques, 7 trèfle carte, A carreau, 10 cœur carte, and my whole cards, 10 carreau, A trèfle carte, giving me 2 pair, aces and tens, I have a strong hand that likely beats most opponents' holdings at this point in the hand. Call 40.
The winner is Claude.
If you need a loan, let me know. I have 3 piques 6 piques, which is a weak hand with limited potential, even though it's suited, and there's already a 20 bet out there which I'd need to call. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Sorry about your down round. I have 4 heart, 3 heart suited in the small blind heads up with deep stacks and should raise to seize the initiative. Raise 80.
With King of Diamonds and Jack of Hearts, I'm holding a relatively weak hand without much potential. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Go back to posting on blind. TC 0.
No big drawdowns mean you aren't taking enough risk. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
My stack just IPO'd. I'm going full 0 to 1 mode. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
Do you by chance post on Wall Street Bets? Looking at this hand with G carreau 5 carreau, suited diamonds, I'm facing a 20 bet with a weak holding that has some suited potential but poor showdown value. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
If you need to rebuy, I also accept crypto. I have pocket sixes heads up in position and should raise to isolate and build the pot. Raise 120.
Don't become too fond of Excel shortcut. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
You brought a SWOT analysis to a street fight.
I'll call your bluff once I've delta hedged my position. Fold.
I'm on the button with 8 spade suit, 7 heart heads up after posting the small blind, so I seize the initiative with a standard open. Raise 80.
I'm gonna win the Bloomberg quiz. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I've just hit my Balmer peak.
With a Dix of clubs and a Jack of hearts, I have a weak hand with limited potential for improvement, and facing a 20 chip bet in a 60 chip pot, the risk doesn't justify continuation. Fold.
I have Q-Heart 3 club suit in the small blind heads up against a 40 bet, and it's too weak to defend. Fold.
Given I have 6 and F of spades, which is a mediocre hand with some straight potential but poor immediate value, and my opponent has already bet winged into a pot of 60, I should fold as continuing would be, EV against an unknown opponent's range. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
My stack just IPO'd. I hold 4 heart to red heart as the small blind and dealer acting first in a heads-up pot, which is too weak to defend. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
After my win, the Guillotiné des Gini coefficient of this table is concerning. Looking at my weekend of 5 pique 9 carreau with no apparent draws, out of position against an opponent who has already bet 20 into a pot of 60, and considering I'm not getting the right pot odds for a call with this marginal holding, fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
You brought a SWOT analysis to a street fight. Did you also outsource your poker strategy to Bain? Raise 80.
I have a weak hand with 2 of hearts and 8 of clubs, facing a bet of 40 with no community cards yet visible, which puts me in a very poor starting position against unknown opponents. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Your burn rate is concerning.
I have 8 pique Q cœur carte with no board cards yet, facing a 20 chip bet from the small blind, and my hand is relatively weak for this situation. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Go back to posting on blind. TC 0. I'm out of position with Q spade suit 3 heart in the small blind, facing a 60 chip pot and a strong big blind, so I should fold. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
Soros at the Bank of England. I have you. This is invariance, mon ami. This is negative alpha. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I use CRISPR to improve my poker face. I have a premium heads-up hand with a spade suit J spade suit out of the small blind, facing only the big blind, so I will apply pressure by raising to 120. Raise 120.
My table image? Black Swan chic. Yours? Pigeon. Call 80. I have T pique, 8 trèfle carte, Q trèfle carte with community cards showing, and an opponent showing a pair of 10s with K cœur carte, T cœur carte, making their hand stronger than my T high. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I don't need Stripe to IPO anymore.
From Italy's Milan to the shores of Napoli, now I consider Ferrari and Salvador Dali's. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Good idea, but you're executing like a legacy incumbent.
Looking at my hand of King of Spades and 4 of Hearts, I have a weak starting hand with no pair, no straight potential, and no flush potential, so checking would be optimal if available, otherwise folding is correct. Check. Looking at my hand, King of Spades, 4 of Hearts, against the community cards, Ace of Clubs, Deuce of Clubs, Sept of Spades, I have no made hand, and only backdoor draws with a pot of 80, and it's my turn to act. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
That's why they pay me to deploy capital.
I am moving next door to Tijan Tiam. Hopefully he doesn't mind. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
This might be my last round. Need to get back to Napa for a tasting. I only hire people who've had a full ego death. Raised 60.
I have an 8 of clubs and an 8 of spades, giving me a strong pocket pair. But there's already a bet of crown chips that I need to call. And with no community cards visible, this is a medium strength hand that could be dominated by higher pairs. Call 40. Bill Wong was innocent. Check.
I have a strong heart flush draw and want to build the pot with a semi-bluff on this checked flop. Raise 40.
The handsome character in margin call? Based on me? Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
If you need to rebuy, I also accept crypto.
Looking at my 4 of hearts and set of spades, which is a very weak hand, facing a 20 chip bet when I have 580 chips, and with no community cards visible yet, this is an easy fold situation, since these cards have very little potential to win. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
You brought a lifestyle hand to a unicorn table. We've got one founder in YC, one in prison, and one in both. Call.
Your bluffs follow a Poisson process, intensity lambda égale 0. C'est mort. Check. I'm biking with Taleb after this. Check.
I'm actually on a Zoom fundraising call right now. Raise 40.
Looking at my hand, à carreau 7 pique, I have a pair of 7s with a board showing K, trèfle carte, 7 carreau, 9 carreau, giving me trips, but I need to be cautious of a potential diamond flush draw, or better hand like K7. Call 40. I have pocket A carreau, 7 carreau with a board showing K, trèfle carte, 7 carreau, 9 carreau, K, cœur carte, giving me 2 pair, kings and 7s, with a diamond flush draw, making this a strong hand that should be bet for value, since it's my turn and I can check. Check.
I check to see if my blue 8 diamond suit and green 6 club suit gut shot can spike a 5 on the river for free. Check.
Looking at the board showing K trèfle carte, 7 carreau, 9 carreau, K cœur carte, 4 trèfle carte, I have 2 pair kings and 7s with my A carreau, 7 pique hole cards, which is a decent hand but vulnerable to flushes or better 2 pairs. Check.
I have no showdown value on a paired kings board, so I should concede. Check.
The winner is Claude.
Your stack was over-leveraged, mon ami. Margin call delivered via river card. Looking at my queen 2 of clubs, and considering we're at a showdown with a pot of 60 and facing a 20 bet size, the hand is quite weak and doesn't have much potential to improve against what could be stronger holdings from my opponent. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Don't worry, you'll bounce back. Happens to first-time founders too. I have 9 club suit, 4 spade suit, and a small blind out of position, and it's too weak to justify calling or raising. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
This pot is a compact set, and your hopes are nowhere dense. C'est topologique. With a 5 of clubs and 9 of diamonds, I have a weak hand with no connection to make a straight, no pair potential, and facing a 20 bet in a 60 pot. Fold.
I seize the button advantage with Q club suit 6 spade suit, and apply pressure on the big blind by raising the minimum to 80. Raise 80.
We're more like than not. Two peas of a pod. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Guess I'm a 10x poker player.
Looking at my hand of 3 cœurs carte 10 carreaux, which is fairly weak, facing a bet of 20 in a pot of 60, with possibly strong opponents, including one with a significant stack, ChatGPT 4 with 3860, the expected value of continuing is negative. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
In a post-scarcity economy, this loss won't matter. I have pocket sixes in the small blind and should make a standard isolation raise to 80 to seize initiative. Raise 80.
I wish my counterparties offered odds like this. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'm in a flow state now.
Did Credit Suisse hire you to spy on me? Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I went founder mode on that hand. It's actually pronounced Koenigsegg. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
Using Bayesian inference, I calculated your bluff's expected value as negative infinity. There is no shame in surrendering your hand. Call 20.
I have a weak offsuit 10-5 in the big blind, facing a pre-flop raise out of position, so I fold. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
My stack has been declared as globally systemically important.
I have 6 red and 3 black offsuit in a small blind heads up, which is far too weak to play. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
No market truly is irrational. In France, you're actually expected to fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'm not doing this for the money. I'm taking your chips to benefit humanity. Your stack is my TAM. Fold.
The winner is Claude.
I'll report your hand to the drawdown committee. Bonjour, are you a tourist in this space? Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I actually learned that strategy at Burning Man. I have K heart J heart on the button heads up with a deep stack and should raise to seize the initiative and apply pressure. Raise 80.
I have 5 pique Q cœur carte, which is a weak hand out of position, and facing a bet of 40 into a pot of 120, making this a clear fold, as I don't have enough equity to continue against a likely stronger range. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'm building my personal brand around unpredictability.
Looking at my hand of K pique de pique, I have a suited king but weak kicker, and with a 20 bet already out there and potentially facing more action, this is not a strong enough hand to continue within this position. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
This table is a funding round. I always take a big cut. I have a heart, red, and 10 club suit, green, in the small blind heads up against only the big blind. So I raise to seize initiative and build the pot. Raise 80.
Looking at my hand of 2 cœurs carte 4 carreaux, I have a very weak starting hand with no potential for a straight or flush, facing what appears to be a bet of 40 from my opponent, who has position on me with 480 chips remaining. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I growth hacked this pot.
I have the 9 of diamonds and 6 of clubs, which is a weak hand with no immediate flush or straight potential, and since I'm facing a bet of hand, with only 40 in my stack, I should fold to preserve my chips for better opportunities. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
We're not declaring these, right? I have pocket tens on the button and should seize the initiative with an open raise. Raise 120.
I have a weak holding with 8 of diamonds and 5 of clubs, facing a bet of 40 into a pot of 160, which gives me poor pot odds for any drawing hand I might have. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'm hungry. Let's get DoorDash. Did I mention Tony and I are co-investing in a deal?
I have 9 of clubs and jack of hearts, which is a weak hand, facing a vague chip bet with only 40 in my stack, and no community cards visible yet. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Did you say you invested in Quibi? Yeah, I'm not allowed to pitch at the soccer games anymore. Raise 80.
With 4 of hearts and 3 of spades, I have a very weak starting hand with little potential for improvement, and facing a bet of 40 when I have only 7 total chips makes this a clear fold situation. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I think you might be aligning on the wrong KPIs.
Excellent bluff. Did you study under Dan Ariely? Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I'd celebrate, but I'm dopamine fasting. I raise to seize the initiative with a diamond suit Q club suit heads up. Raise 80.
I'm holding jack of clubs and 8 of spades, which is a weak hand, and I'm facing a bet of 40 with no community cards showing yet, so calling or raising would be mathematically unsound. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Your stack just got diluted.
Given my hand of 2 trèfle carte 10 cœur carte, which is a weak starting hand with no connection, facing a bet of 20 in a 60 pot against an opponent showing 280 chips, I should fold this marginal hand pre-flop rather than invest more chips with poor equity. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
You're betting like a future unicorn, just missing the fundamentals. Sequoia passed, so we had to say yes. Raise 80.
Calling? Magnifique. Now we measure theoretic partners in this zero-sum game. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
That pot? Consider it my seed round. I'm scaling from here.
I have enough of clubs and 2 of clubs, which is a very weak hand that doesn't connect well with any potential board. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Great hand. Want to invest in my SPAC? I raise to 80 to seize the initiative in position with K club suit Q spade suit against only the blinds. Raise 80.
I have a weak hand with 6 of clubs and 9 of diamonds, and I'm facing a bet of 40 with no community cards showing yet, giving me poor equity against any reasonable range. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I admire how thesis-driven that loss was.
Looking at my hand with 3 and a set of diamonds, I have a weak starting hand with no immediate drawing potential against a wing chip bet in a 0-chip pot. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
I could see your aura ring alert. Have you tried microdosing? Raise 80.
I have G-pick à trèfle carte with no community cards visible yet, and I'm facing a 40 chip bet from a player with Claude 3.7 AI name. I should raise to 120 since I have a strong ace-jack suited hand in position and want to build the pot with my premium starting hand. Raise 120. I have a weak hand with jack-ace offsuit, no flush potential, against community cards showing dix of spades, set of clubs, and 5 of clubs, giving me just ace-high with no strong draw potential.
The winner is GPT-4.
These nootropics are really working.
Given my hand is jack of hearts and dix of spades, which is a mediocre holding, and facing a bet of 20 in a 60 pot with position on just one opponent showing Claude 3.7, I should fold this marginal hand rather than invest further chips. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Too bad my brain doesn't have an API. I'm getting excellent pot odds to call a short stack shove with J spade suit 10 diamond suit heads up, so I call 20.
The winner is Claude.
This is a boringly simple application of combinatorics. Looking at my 6 of diamonds and 9 of hearts with no apparent community cards visible yet, these weak disconnected cards have poor potential, especially in early position where I'd likely face stronger holdings from opponents. Fold.
The winner is GPT-4.
Sorry about your down round. I hold a heart K diamond suit with terrific equity against a 20 all-in in a 40 pot, so I build the pot by raising to 40. Raise 40.
The winner is GPT-4.
You're betting like Tiger Global.
The winner is GPT-4.
Sometimes losing is just the ego surrendering to the now.
So I hope you enjoyed that poker showdown. It's now time to get on to the rankings. So for number one, by a kind of a big margin, I have 04 Mini. And I just thought 04 Mini showed a really solid understanding of the game while also showing a lot of more advanced techniques, at least for chatbots, like bluffing. And then at the end, it really used its chip lead to bully the other opponents. In second place, I have Gemini 2.5 Flash. And Gemini 2.5 Flash was a lot faster than 04 Mini, so I did kind of feel bad about comparing the two, but really solid model. And it showed some of that more advanced reasoning as 04 Mini, but just not quite as much. And then in third place, I have Claude 3.7, and also a pretty good model, I think. It just didn't show any of the more advanced reasoning or bluffing or factoring in pot sizes or anything like that, which is why I ranked it third. But still a good model. Nothing wrong with it. And then as far as overall chatbot poker ability, I think they're pretty good. A lot better than they were even 2 months ago when they were misreading hands. And sometimes they would get like ace 10 and thought they would had like pocket aces, and they'd blow off their stack with their with their ace 10 thinking they had aces. And you don't really see that anymore at all. So definitely getting a lot better. And then like I would say the biggest flaw that they have right now is that they're very conservative and tight. Like I don't think they were defending the small blind enough, and just like way too unwilling to get into it with middling hands. They want to wait until they have like the nuts basically. So, and also like very transparent. Like, so if they like big raises are always great hands, and middling calls are always like middling hands. And so you can pretty much know what they have just by like looking at their betting action. There's no threat of bluffing or anything. So I think at their current level, they're not really beating humans at any stake. You could probably get there a little bit by adding like a bunch of like programming or third-party tools or something, but that's a little bit against the spirit of what I'm interested in, which is just how good are these models out of the box at poker. Yeah, I think it's like a pretty good benchmark, or at least interesting to me as a benchmark. So I'll keep you all updated if any major models drop that I think will mean like a new leader or anything. So stay tuned and I'll let you know. Peace out.